the U.S. take on Paraguay in the first match at SoFi at 7 o'clock, I think, or 6 o'clock. It's one of the two. I can never get those times right with Fox. They tell you it's 6, but it's actually 7. They tell you it's 7, it's actually 8. Doesn't matter. It's SoFi. It's Friday night. I'm so fucking excited. Like, I think that the world is underestimating how good this team potentially can be, but the only way that this gets started in the right direction is if they get off the mark in this first game for me. I think if they lose this game, the pressure mounts pretty quickly. But I think if they put on a good showing and they show Paraguay that they're the better team talent-wise, then they can push on into the group and potentially be the winners of the group. I think that that's kind of the two ways that you can see it going. The pressure immediately also gets just chopped off because if you get 3 points, you're probably moving on. So I'm going to look up Paraguay's team because
I'm looking at it right now. They've got Enciso, Almiron, Gomez from Brighton, and Alderete from Sunderland. Those are the names of note. So they're not going to be a walk in the park by any stretch.
No. But we should take care of business.
We should. We absolutely should.
Home opener for a hosting game, like we're hosting the tournament. I don't see any reason why we don't beat them.
Yeah, their send-off game was against Nicaragua, and they beat them 4-0. It's really hard to take much stock into that. Like, their last 5 games, they lost to us 2-1. They beat Mexico 2-1. They beat Greece 1-0. They lost to Morocco 2-1. And I'm assuming a game where Morocco did not play many of their guys. Yeah. None of their guys played. Except for Hakimi, who had 2 assists. It's a tough. They're a tough team. They're going to be sound, resolute. They're going to not hold the ball. The U.S. is going to be asked to dictate play. I don't know. Like, to Mila's point, we should take care of business, and it shouldn't be that difficult. But difficult's not the right word. Every game is difficult in the World Cup. It shouldn't be.
There will be pressure, but our talent outweighs theirs by a long shot, I think. Even with the names that they do have, none of them, especially this season, have really popped off the page in terms of off factor. I think Diego Gomez a season or 2 ago was one to note. Almiron 3 to 4 seasons ago was one to note. Alderete is a good player. And Ciso didn't really get it going this season. So they're capable, but will recent form go out the window? I don't think so. And I think we're looking good. We've come in with momentum. And again, it's a home opener. So I'm looking around like 3-1.
I'd like that. From the reporting that I'm seeing, Enciso is most likely not going to play. It's doubtful that he plays in the first game, and they're hoping to get him back for the second.
That's a big miss.
That's a huge miss. So. Yeah.
Maybe 3-0.
Because he just has the threat of a thunder bastard from like 30 yards out at any point. So it's going to be nice to not have to worry about that.
Almiron's been fucking awful, too, for Atlanta. And he scored in this game, but their last game, but in general, like he's not the level that he was at Newcastle a couple years ago. I like 3-1. I think 3-1's a good shout in terms of a predict.
Really yeah. I was gonna say if we were, I would totally just back you guys. So I can't go down this early like I did in the predictions on the Premier League. But
yeah,
I just always go back to the game I watched Paraguay play here in Vegas against Brazil for Copa America. A struggling Brazil team battered them, and Brazil did not look cohesive at any point. And then me and Mila went and saw them 0-0 against Uruguay, and they lost on penalties. So that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth if I'm thinking about expectations from them. So I think it should be comfortable. I'd be disappointed to concede a goal if I'm honest, but I do think we will.
Yeah. I just don't think the U.S. is a consolidated unit yet defensively where we're going to keep clean sheets. Richard's coming back in his first game.
It
I'm
could be
assuming.
way more impactful than we think, though. Than
It could be.
could
True.
be a clean sheet,
It could be.
especially
Yeah.
with Enciso out. I don't think that Paraguay have a lot of firepower. So
Yeah.
Which could be
a
one break.
good
It
game
doesn't.
from Tyler Adams, a good game from the back line, and we could walk away with a clean sheet. And just up to the forwards to rack up the goal difference in this game.
Yeah. If you control the transitions, you win this match pretty easily. Like and honestly, like it's tough to really be like, well, the US have not controlled transition well. I mean, they haven't, but also like every time I want to point to anything defensively, the person that we've seen at the center back spot has been Miles fucking Robinson.
Mm-hmm. I think,
yeah,
I kind of want to see Berhalter over McKinney in terms of, especially if we're talking about controlling these transitions. I think he might be better for that.
Interesting. I was actually going to go with the opposite. Like, this is a game I want to see McKinney in the pivot, but I want to see Berhalter against Turkey.
He looked a little off, McKinney, in the pivot in the last game. Granted, it's a friendly, but I think Berhalter's form has been really good lately, and again, he contributes G&A. So I think his physicality in the midfield and his ability to just be involved on all fronts is really helpful. And I know McKinney's basically, a lot of these qualities can be said about him, but just based off recent form, I think Berhalter nudges in front of him for me.
Yeah, for me, in terms of like, we're going to hold the ball, who do I trust to dictate play a little bit more? I think it's Weston. Not that either of that, like, that's not their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Weston's more of the box crasher, and Berhalter's more of your like defensive-minded 8 that kind of runs around, kicks shins, does a lot for you. So it's really just preference in terms of how you see the game playing out. And you could go with either way, like just depending on how you view it. Grant, are you either here or there on who starts in that midfield too? Oh, you're muted.
That was all part of my plan. I lean towards that logic of, in a game likely to be more competitive and back and forth with Turkey, to have a Berhalter, and then in a game in theory where you're holding a lot of possession, McKinney more likely to be a goal scorer of the two, to be able to, like you said, crash the box, get into those areas. But I don't feel too strongly it could go either way. I think it's important. It's an interesting dynamic to look at for projecting how we go forward in the tournament, but I'm just kind of waiting to see, really.
Yeah, I think the first sub, regardless, would be that player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if Weston starts, then Berhalter would be my first sub, and if Berhalter starts, Weston would be my first sub.
It's a great conversation to have, because I think either option offers something really good for the team. To me, I just personally think that Paraguay are going to be a little more aggressive.
Feisty?
Yeah, feisty and aggressive. And to me, Berhalter makes more sense. In a game where it's going to be more about the technical ability, I kind of would prefer McKinney. It's the opposite thinking of you guys, but
yeah,
I guess that's just how we see the games playing out.
No, either rationale is right, and unfortunately, well, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, the person that's at the helm of making that decision is Pochettino. So hopefully he gets it right. Regardless, I feel pretty good. Regardless of who starts, like I'm feeling pretty good. Outside of that position, is everybody else kind of in the same sphere? Like it's Flo, Pulisic, Tillman, wingbacks Jedi, and Dest, and in the back 3.
I think we have good conversations in multiple positions.
Well, you could also make the argument that Weston and Berhalter start together, and Weston starts in the right 10, if you really wanted to.
Possibly. I think you can also have the conversation Balogun or Pepe. Pepe's looked really good leading up into the World Cup in terms of build-up, almost as like a false 9, more like a target forward, I guess. But that position, I think Wales looked really good off the bench. So that competition at the right wing back is really good right now between him and Dest. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Those positions, it's great. And then we have conversations like that central center back where it's like we have one guy, if he goes down,
it's one guy. Yeah. At least we know that like Freeman is the starting right center back. Like I've been pretty happy with the way that he performs. He had the
Good.
scuffle with them in the friendly. I think we watched that game together, so we all saw that where they just broke out into a fight. So it's good to have some edge to this game. And I guess the only other talking point that came out of today's camp from the reporting I saw is Matt Turner was told that the starting goalkeeper position still hasn't been decided.
Ooh, I don't like that. It should
Yeah,
be
I hope
free.
he play.
Yeah, it should be Freeze.
Yeah, it's easy.
Turner in a big game. Like I know that
Pochettino.
World Cup was great,
Yeah.
but look, man, he hasn't been in form. He hasn't proven anything through these camps that he's the guy. For me, if he was the guy, he'd be the guy right now. He had no reason to ever lose his spot. It's not like Freeze is some like world-renowned goalkeeper. Freeze, I think, is a little better technically too in terms of
Until
passing.
Freeze plays himself out of the position, out of the starting spot, I think it's his. Turner hasn't done anything to convince me that he deserves it, and then Freeze hasn't really done anything to say that he needs to be stripped of the starting spot.
True. This way of point's a good one. The only issue is Dest is literally getting scouted by Bayern. That's how good.
I mean, Dest is
That's
looking
how good
really good, and then again, Weah is also looking really good.
It's good, healthy competition. In
It-
a lot of
it-
spots,
it's-
like you said, Mila.
It's really projecting how offensive you want to be because Dest is a little better defensively, but also he's been really good going forward. So it's like, what type of pitcher do you want to be? Do you want to be a slow pitcher where you give them the like changeups and the curveballs and all that stuff, going for super American here, and then you bring in your fastball, your closer, the guy that pumps 105, and that's Weah? Or do you do it the opposite way where you're just throwing out a guy who constantly throws 100 like to start games, so Paul Skeens, for example, and then you bring in your junk pitcher, which is Dest. Like it's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, in the past couple games, it seemed like Dest gets in those almost like Cucurella positions where he's ready to either head it or tap in a ball. Weah seems to be more of like the sideline wing back, putting in crosses, just being rapid along the line. We have different options of attack using either one of them. So I think it really will depend on the game, much like that Berhalter-McKinney conversation. We have a good toolbox. And it kind of just depends on the project.
What's nice is between those two and then Jedi, those are the three wing backs that I want to see on the pitch at all times. Like I don't really give like I think Dest is more able to give you 90 minutes, and that's almost why I'd start him over Jedi. And so then you have the ability to switch Dest if you need to that left wing back spot. I really don't want to see Arfsen play. I haven't been overly impressed with him, and I think in the World Cup he would get found out pretty easily. But yeah, I don't know. But our predictions, are we all going 3-1?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Especially no Predicty counter for this.
Showing a united front.
We compete on kick base.
We compete on kick base. That's right. Man of the match for it. Let's just we can differ there.
Tyler Adams.
Oh, nice. It's a good shot. I'm going Cap. I need him to start good.
Go Tillman. Go someone else.
I like it. Dual national. Listening to him talk is so great. Like it's just like Jermaine Jones, where they speak with that German like dialect kind of accent to him, and I'm like, that's what the U.S. is all about. Like we're just this giant melting pot of players, and you've got Jedi speaking straight bloke British, like, and then Tillman speaking, yeah. Oh well, it's not. Is it Scouse? Is he Scouse?
I think he's just from Everton's academy. He might not be Scouse, but
I don't think he's Scouse. I think he's more like London proper type of. I don't know if it's that proper, but
well, I mean, he's been in West London for a long time.
That's
so,
true. That's true. It's good stuff.